It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bears and the Rams, and it comes your way next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. Joined as always by Charles Davis. Well, CD, you look at the Bears in this one. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. For the first time, here comes the Chicago Bear offense, led out by the veteran in his first season in Chicago, but 11th overall, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Dalton. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 4. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Quarterback Matthew Stafford bringing out the LA offense. And Stafford, of course, all those years in Detroit, and now in his first season with Los Angeles.
And what big news it was back in January when news leaked out that Matthew Stafford was leaving Detroit and heading out west to join the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are hoping he's the missing piece to the puzzle as they seek a Super Bowl title. Over 45,000 yards passing as a Lion, but not a single playoff victory in his entire tenure. The Rams general manager has said He can envision Stafford staying 5 to 8 years, which would take him into his 40s.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Again, he targets Kupp, and this time he's got it. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll run. This is Darrell Henderson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Matt Gay on the field goal. A 35-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Charles, Chicago's offense comes back out here, and as they do, want to ask you about what's going on there. 8-8 last year for the 2nd consecutive season. Did get into the playoffs, but lost in the wild card round. But this is one of those franchises, CD, it seems, where you're always talking about the quarterback position. Well, they get Fields, but now it looks like Andy Dalton is the guy. How do you see this playing out, and how long until we probably see Fields under center?
I love how you pose that, because you spend a lot of time in the Midwest, as do I. And anytime you talk to a Bears fan, it's always about the fact that they haven't had their franchise quarterback since, a lot of people will say Jim McMahon. Before that, you'd say Sid Luckman. They just have not had that person. Now they draft Justin Fields, and he's not going to start week 1. A lot of Bears fans are unhappy about that. But the staff wants to bring him along slowly. I don't think it'll be as slow as they expect. He creates big plays, and that only help a really good defense if they can get some offense going.
I just have to say that I looked up Sid Luckman while you were talking. He played from 1939 to 1950. So if he and McMahon are the two, I guess it's time in Chicago for a stalwart under center. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. To throw here, Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sand. Kenny Young just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
They had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
Well, Charles, as the Rams come back out here on offense, let's think about their 2021 campaign. Remember, they were 10-6 last year, but now the change at quarterback because Jared Goff goes to Detroit, and from Detroit, they get former #1 pick Matthew Stafford. He says he's got a kind of a new lease on life. What do you see from Stafford and the Rams this year?
He certainly does, because he goes into a season actually believing that they can win in the playoffs. You know, when he's played in Detroit, he only got there 3 times and never won a playoff game. He has the potential now to make it happen and get to a Super Bowl. Remember, that defense is still there. Aaron Donald is still there. This is a Rams team with a lot of hope and a great roster.
Unfortunately for LA, though, one guy that won't be there, Cam Akers, with that injury. He will miss the entire season.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Stafford. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Let's go!
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to get the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, CD, something that we've done for a number of years as the season gets going is we get predictions on each side. Let's start with the AFC. Who do you have in 2021 as your division winners?
Well, let's go to the East, and I think Buffalo repeats, although New England, they got better in the offseason. And this
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
You say Khalil Mack and offensive coordinators get very, very nervous, and there's another example of exactly why. 9 sacks in 2020. He's been named to 6 consecutive Pro Bowls and been an All-Pro in 2 of the previous 3 seasons in Chicago.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, here's Henderson. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away.
Back deep, Damiere Byrd.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Andy Dalton.
That's complete right side to Kmet.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Here's Dalton. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Touchdown, Chicago.
But he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and that throw, my goodness, and even 70 yards through the air.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Rams going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Tyler Higbee just keeps getting better and better as a receiver. Makes a nice grab there for a first down. In his 6th season now, all with the Rams, 6'6", 255. And we saw Matthew Stafford like working with T.J. Hockenson the last couple of years. He's going to love working with Tyler Higbee.
Escapes the sack. That'll be caught. It's Cup. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the 50 at Stafford.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively, and 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. Uses the stiff arm. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another 1st down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
At 48-yard attempt.
And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half out of the veteran quarterback, Andy Dalton. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Stafford on first down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And that'll bring up second down.
Hey, let's go back, Charles, to your preseason predictions. You gave us what you thought on the AFC. How about the NFC side in 2021?
All right, how about the Washington football team winning the NFC East? I think in the North, Green Bay comes back and represents again. In the South, Tampa Bay, who finished second in their division last year to New Orleans, they win the division this time. And then out West, the Los Angeles Rams with their new quarterback, Matthew Stafford. And I like the Los Angeles Rams in an upset over Tampa Bay to win the NFC.
And then earlier you said the Chiefs on the AFC side, so who do you have here winning it all?
Well, winning it all is going back to Kansas City, baby. Patrick Mahomes for the 3rd straight year in the Super Bowl. This time he wins it, and it'll be 2 for 3.
Yeah, I think I like the Chiefs as well, CD. But, man, an AFC title again, a rematch between them and the Bills. It would kind of be cool to see the Bills back on top of the AFC, but I think you're right. I've got the Chiefs in the end as well.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Second and 6. Again, it's Henderson. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now it's Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time, they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try to cut down the length of the drive.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Dalton now to pass. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And able to use a stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Give him 2 on the play there, and that leads to a Chicago 1st down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Now Montgomery fights off the defender. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So now Dalton. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. It would have been a long field goal, but fake doesn't work out. And the Rams are going to take possession and a turnover on downs. So now Stafford and the Rams down 7-3. Just over a minute 40 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the guard, David Edwards.
Still first down.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Stafford now to throw. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. Now Stafford. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
time of factor here late. He'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Dalton. Forced out to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. Here's Dalton. He's going to let it fly. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Now Dalton. And he checks this one down to Williams. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they use your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. On second down, Montgomery. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. And they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. And Dalton to throw. There's a short throw. It's caught by Komet. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
In 2021 in the draft, the first tight end off the board, Florida's Kyle Pitts at number 4 to Atlanta. The first tight end taken in 2020 was this guy, Cole Komet, number 43 overall. Really started to come on late last season. A good grab there for a 1st down.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. On the stop was Aaron Donald. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. So Dalton now. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 44-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the 1st. Well, good start for him under center here in overtime. Now 3 of 3.
And this is where you have to know who you have playing quarterback. You've got a confident thrower right now, someone who's taking care of the ball, but not being timid as well, and is moving the team downfield. That opens up your playbook and allows you to dial up some big shots if you want them.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Dalton bootlegs out. And incomplete.
Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Throwing, Dalton. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a 1st down. How about that, partner? Not only a 4th down conversion in a tie game, a 4th down conversion in overtime in a tie game.
And so many factors go into making that call, and a lot of it is a head coach feeling the rhythm and understanding his team. Sometimes you think, okay, we better get this done right now. We might not have enough left if we let this game extend. Let's go get it, end it, and get a victory.
Dalton. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. A give. This is Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Here's Dalton. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Santos' kick is up and through. So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. That catch good for only a couple. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And all the way down to the 39. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. On first down, Stafford here. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. Shoves him away. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and got the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
Stafford now to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
For the Rams field goal, a 32-yard attempt.
And Gay knocks this one through. Both teams swapping field goals on their respective first drives of overtime. So now, you know the drill. It's on to old school sudden death.
Yeah, it sounds exciting, doesn't it? Can I be a little bit of Dennis Downer here, though? That drive, able to go that far, yet they had to kick the field goal to keep playing. You would have thought maybe could they punch it in and go ahead and end it?
We get more free football.
Oh yeah, good point.
Come on.
I'm back upbeat again. Forget the Downer stuff.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. The situation is simple. It is sudden death from here on out. We had 2 stops defensively. The next score, whatever it is, wins this game.
And I can't wait to see how the defense decides to play this, because Knowing that the next point you give up, lose the game for you, I expect them to be more aggressive, not just play a normal situational defense, but go after them, attack them a little bit, because otherwise the offense is just trying to find their way to get downfield and kick a field goal. Don't sit back and wait for them to make their plays. I think the defense needs to go after them.
Charles Davis says maybe they go aggressive.
And, partner, I've not been a huge fan of a certain cliche, but it does actually apply here. Who actually wants it more now? I mean, both of them have gotten field goals here in overtime.
Yeah, they've been out there a long time trading field goals. Now we'll see who wants it more.
Yeah, mental conditioning as well as physical conditioning is going to determine who wins this one.
Escaping the pressure right.
A throw left side taken in by Komet.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the
Number
field.
4 pass, offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Andy Dalton. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. It got his man complete. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. Explosion plays always break the back of a defense, in overtime to put them in the red zone. That was huge.
I like your description there, because when you get an explosion play, now people are really scrambling on defense. Now they're looking to each other. Who's going to step up? Who's going to make a play? Offensive guys have the momentum. Now they're in the red zone. They've got to be thinking attack, trying to get it into the end zone.
Yeah, the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline, because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.